Eminent speaker of the today's session, my beloved Ravishaka, shall we start?
Yes, sir, we can start, sir.
Okay, fine. Eminent speaker of the today's session and my beloved student, Dr. Spandana Rajendra Kopalli, Assistant Professor, College of Integrative Biosciences and Biotechnology, Sejong University, Seoul, South Korea, participants from various colleges. A very good morning to one and all for the third day of 1 week online international faculty development program and skill development program on emerging innovations and insights in pharmaceutical sciences, jointly organized by Jawaharlal Nehru Technological University, Kakinada, and VV Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences, Gudlavalleru, Krishna District, Andhra Pradesh. In day 3, Dr. Spandana Rajendra Kopalli will deliver a lecture on ginseng, the miracle nutrient powerhouse, its role in fertility. Just I will give the brief outline about the today's topic. Ginseng is a regularly top-selling herbal supplement. It comes from the root part of several plant species in the Panax genus. The most common type of ginseng supplement comes from the Panax ginseng, which roughly translates to all healing man root. It is also called Asian ginseng, Chinese ginseng, and South Korean ginseng in the family Eraliaceae. And it's an herbal supplement that comes from the root of the plant. Ginseng are having the several health benefits like potent antioxidant that reduce the inflammation, may benefit brain function, may have potential benefits against the cancer. It also fight tiredness and increases the energy levels also. It is showing its action against it lowers the blood sugar levels also. Now COVID-19 is pandemic entire globe. There is no specific medicine for the coronavirus, and the precautionary measure is to boost the immune system. Now, as per the current topic, ginseng improves the immune system also. And another aspect of these, the today's topic is related to role of ginseng in fertility, and the ginseng could improve the erectile dysfunction also. And today's speaker, Dr. Spandana Rajendra, is having a sound knowledge in the pharmacognosy, and she is also a good researcher also. Her area of research is both pharmacology, neuropharmacology, as well as pharmacognosy also. Now, I hand over the session to Dr. P. Ravisha, Head Department of Pharmacognosy and coordinator for the today's webinar series, to introduce the today's speaker to the participants. Over to Dr. Ravisha.
Very good morning, one and all. I welcome you all to day 3 of 1 week online international faculty development program and skill development program. I hope you grabbed the wide knowledge about the previous sessions. Today we are in for session with Dr. Spandana Rajendra Kopalli. Let me introduce her with a brief profile. Dr. Spandana Rajendra Kopalli, Assistant Professor, College of Integrative Biosciences and Biotechnology, Sejong University, Seoul, South Korea. She completed her bachelor's in pharmacy and master's in pharmacognosy and phytochemistry at University College of Pharmaceutical Sciences, Andhra University, Visakhapatnam, India. She received her doctoral degree from Seoul National University, which is ranked 1 among top 50 universities in the world, College of Medicine, Seoul, South Korea. She is a recipient of Graduate Scholarship for Excellent Foreign Student, GSFS Fellowship, while pursuing her PhD. She was acted as a postdoctoral researcher in the Phytochemistry and Pharmacognosy Department of Biomedical and Health, South Korea, and later she was appointed as a faculty at College of Integrative Biosciences, Sejong University, South Korea. She is an active investigator on several projects jointly with Korean collaborators. She published more than 20 scientific papers in high-impact, peer-reviewed international journals and received 3 Best Research Paper Awards from Korea Ginseng Corporation and BK21 South Korea. She also presented her work in various national and international scientific meetings. Her current research interest lies in the area of drug discovery from natural products, endocrinology and male sexual dysfunctions, neurodegenerative and neuroinflammatory diseases, stress and age-related disorders, biological activities of ginseng and its metabolites. She voluntarily works in cross-cultural awareness programs sharing Indian tradition, food, and culture in Korean schools in association with Korean National Commission for UNESCO, South Korea. Now I would like to invite Dr. Spandana Rajendra Kopali to have our session. Please, ma'am. Handing over to the speaker.
Yeah. Good morning to you all. A very good morning, Dr. Lakshman sir. And he is my teacher during my graduate course in Sri Vishnu College of Pharmacy. Thank you so much, Dr. Ravina ma'am, for your beautiful and lovely introduction. The introduction itself inspired me to share something what I know and what I did in my career. So first of all, I take this platform to thank Lakshman sir for giving me this wonderful opportunity in delivering my research, what I do nowadays. And not only that, I'm seeing lots of webinar series that are conducted all through the COVID pandemic. So we see like many efficient speakers speaking. And in VVIPS college also, I was following like from the series from the last 2 days also, the speakers were so informative. And thank you, sir, for giving such a nice platform for the students as well as for researchers as well as the faculties to gain some knowledge during this pandemic session. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, Ravina. So shall I go towards today's topic? So my screen is visible to you, sir?
Yeah, it is visible.
Yeah.
You can continue.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, as Lakshman sir told that nowadays we have to live with this COVID, or we need only to boost ourselves to gain some immunity. So ginseng is one best immunity boosters which we hear nowadays. So the title of my topic today is, as you can see, ginseng, the miracle nutrient powerhouse and its role in fertility. So this, we all talk about natural products. So I say that this is the king of all herbs when we talk about ginseng, because I hope at the end of my talk, many of you will be convinced why this ginseng is called as a miracle nutrient powerhouse, particularly in infertility. So today I'm going to talk about what is ginseng, importance of ginseng, the pharmacological benefits of ginseng, the male infertility and its causes, role of ginseng in male infertility, the pharmacological screening in stress-induced experimental models. And at the end, we can have a Q&A session too. Okay, so I just want to let you know the magnificence of this Korean ginseng. Since time immemorial, Korean ginseng has been one of the representative products originating from Korea, considered as one of the most helpful products available anywhere in the world. You know, Korean ginseng is having a lot of history, it is the best oriental medicine which was given by the ancestors. They say that it is given by God. And it is having a history around, like the medical history is around thousands of years, and it is becoming mostly widely used as a traditional herb nowadays. This is a simple root, and it is belong to a Panax family. Now you can see in this figure, this is an ancient Korean painting where you can see the ginseng in between. giving as a gift to the common people by their ancestors. He's just like our Sushruta in our Ayurveda. Okay, so coming to what a ginseng is. Panax ginseng, Mayor, belongs to the family of Araliaceae. The name itself is derived from the Greek word pan, means all, and axis means cure. The root has been used to resemble the human body. You can see here, when you look at the root, it resembles like a human body, which shoots for the arms and legs. So ginseng is, or the name is originated from the Chinese words zhen and shen, meaning man herb, because the shape of the root of the plant resembles a humanoid form. It is thought to be the reason that the traditional herbalists considered ginseng as a treatment for the entire body. Today, the search is shedding light onto just how efficient ginseng is as a natural remedy. So coming to this, we see the different types of cultivation for every natural products, right? So this mysterious herb with all miracle powers is having a very strict cultivation management, unlike other plants. I will explain you how the cultivation of this herb will be. So the cultivation process will be the selection and management of, depending upon the, first of all, is the land, okay? The soil is important, the climatic conditions are important, and the aeration, the drainage system is, everything is very much important. So first thing is, like, it should have an ideal topography for this cultivation, wide open area facing north or northeast, because for the wind, okay? So without any objects blocking the wind, with good drainage, and its soil should be ploughed like 15 times in the year, so that all the physical properties of the soil are retained and to destroy the pathogenic bacteria. And also the soil also should have the nutritional standards which are perfect for its growth. Okay, and then how it is cultivated. Picking the seeds and opening their skin. So this propagation is by seedlings and not seeds, okay? The seeds from 4-year-old ginseng around in the month of mid-July, when these fruits have strong red color. You can see in the figure, you can see the seeds of the ginseng here, okay? And strong red color, and these are sowed. And after sowing seeds between late October and early November, they are again transplanted around the middle of April. So after sowing the seeds, we get the saplings around for a period of 2 years. Only after 2 years, we dig the ginseng sprouts from the seed bed and transplant them to the mainland. Okay, and here, when we transplant to the mainland, the superior ginseng seedlings are selected and planted obliquely. You can see here, in the figure here, they are planted obliquely at a degree of 45 degrees angle to produce the human shape. I will show it in the picture. Okay, so they are planted slantingly. And coming to the how the process of growing. Now, I already told that for us to get a sapling and to transplant to the new one, we need 2 years there. And now the process of growing. So 1-year-old ginseng will have, you can see in the figure here, I've kept the plant, how the field appears and how many leaves are appearing here. So you can see in the first year, only 3 leaves are formed in a stripe, and the main root and the lateral roots are formed, okay? And not like carrots. Carrot is like a tap-rooted one, no? So carrots grows longitudinally into the soil. But as these saplings are planted in a 45 degrees angle, so that they can expand, these ginseng root is going to expand its tertiary roots, forming the arms and legs of the ginseng body. Okay, so the 3 leaves are formed in the first year, and in the second year, you can see only 5 small leaves are formed in each 2 stipes. And in the third year, these small leaves are little bit grow, and then the flower begins to blossom and the root becomes large and the root shape is fixed now. And at the age of 4, in the 4th year, the 5 small leaves are formed to 4 stripes and the root becomes bigger. Now you can see it in the figure as well, okay? And in the 5th year, these grow a little more, the root becomes more stronger and more larger. And in the 6th year, the 5 small leaves are formed in 6 types and the whole human-like figure of the ginseng is formed. So you can see it here. So what is the time of the harvesting? Now the growing period takes around 6 years. And what is the best time to harvest this ginseng? The best time to harvest the ginseng is when the root is 4 to 6 years old. Okay, so but the perfect time where we can harvest is the 6th year. So the ginseng's phytochemicals which are helpful to the human body are maximized in the 6th year. That's why we say that is the perfect time. So the highest grade red ginseng is manufactured with ginseng having been harvested in its 6th year of growth only. So this is how precious ginseng field is. In Korea, usually to get the crop or to get the harvest, it takes 6 years. So the farmers are like, they treat the farm as a children. And every morning when they walk, they say that the plants will talk to them. The dews on the leaf tops, they say that they are going to give a good and a strong root. That is what one of my friends, they have some ginseng farms. He always tells me like that, like the way when we walk in the morning, the ginseng saplings or the ginseng plants, they speak to them. Yeah. So that's the real beauty in cultivation and the harvesting of the ginseng, unlike other natural products. That's why for the yield to come, it really takes 6 years. So it is considered as a gold in Korea. So ginseng is equal to gold in Korea. Okay, so coming to the varieties of ginseng, while processing only, we can see different types of varieties of ginseng. The first one is the red ginseng, second one white ginseng, taeguk ginseng, and the fresh ginseng. So the red ginseng is steamed, curved, and dried to ensure the storage for a long term. The steaming process increases and the healthy active components by stimulating the biochemical changes of its roots composition. So the first one is the red ginseng is an unpeeled fresh ginseng, which is streamed and dried 10 years under room temperature with vacuum packing. While coming to the white ginseng, it is either peeled or unpeeled fresh ginseng, dried under the sun without hot air. Now here in the first one, we see we maintain a temperature. In the white ginseng, we don't maintain the temperature. It is just drying in the hot room temperature. And next one is the taeguk ginseng. The fresh ginseng is soaked in hot water and then dried, and then it is under the room temperature, stored under the room temperature for 10 years with vacuum packing. And next one is the fresh ginseng, which comes directly from the farm. Usually, some people also like salads. They cut the fresh ginseng, and just like a ketchup, there is one tenjan, like a chili sauce. They just dip it in the chili sauce, or sometimes they dip in honey. And because it is a little bit bitter in taste, the ginseng, so the fresh plucked ginseng just right from the farm is dipped with honey and then it is tasted. Yeah, I too tasted it. It's a little bit bitter, but it's really tasty too. So coming to the fresh ginseng, the freshly harvested ginseng from the field, that's raw material, which is 2 weeks without sun drying, depending on the storage conditions. Okay, now, as I told you, there are different types of ginseng and the processing method. Yeah. The processing method of the ginseng. The first, we get it from the farm, ginseng cleaning. So we take utmost care of the, the crop, which is coming from the fields, because even the small tertiary roots, you know, while working, when some roots are fell down, they pick and they wash and mix it in the food and also eat. So that's how precious they consider the ginseng root as. So After getting the ginseng, it is cleaned and the fresh ginseng is steamed to make the red ginseng. And the ginseng is steamed, dried naturally in the sun. The roots are trimmed and cut. So only the plump bodies remain, and then each root is inspected for the quality assurance. And then the screening, for the weight, the moistening and the compaction, the box packing, and then the can packing. Now we can see here, they are always can packed. Next, so coming to the types of ginseng that are available around the world. Now we hear about the Korean ginseng, American ginseng, Indian ginseng, you know, right? Our ashwagandha, our pretty lovely root of our country. As like mango, ashwagandha is also the pride of our India, right? So ashwagandha is the Indian ginseng. It is not considered as true ginseng, but it is having the same properties or the potential like the ginseng. So it is also used for aphrodisiac too, and it is also stamina increaser and immuno booster, like that. So that's why in Chyawanprash and every Ayurvedic products that are available in India, we have the ashwagandha as a composition in it. So coming to the Korean ginseng, it is considered the original ginseng with the best medical properties that are available. The second one is the American ginseng. You can see it here in the slide over there. And these are grown in America, and it is thought to have a cooling energy as opposed to the Asia's varieties warming one. Okay, we say that the Asian ginseng is having a warming like effect. So coming to the Brazilian ginseng, this dried root of the South American plant was introduced as a Brazilian ginseng, mostly to capitalize on the ginseng's popularity as a nutritional supplement. And next one is the Siberian ginseng. This variant is not a true ginseng, but does have some medicinal properties. It is the least potent of all the different types of ginseng available. And also nowadays we have the Chinese ginseng also. Once upon a time, in good olden days, one old woman was cultivating this ginseng, and suddenly one of his neighbors or somebody plucked some of the seeds of the ginseng and they took to China. So that's how China was introduced the ginseng there. But because of the soil conditions, because of the climatic conditions, and also the how delicately they cultivate, there is a lot difference between the Korean ginseng and the Chinese ginseng. Okay, let me tell you how these ginseng varieties of Korean ginseng are processed. The fresh ginseng, which we get it from the field, the white ginseng is washed, peeled, dried, is just the white ginseng. And the taeguk ginseng, washing and steaming at 80 to 90 degrees centigrade for about 30 minutes, and hot drying at 40 degrees centigrade gives the taeguk ginseng. Now you can see the morphology, logical characters from outside too. And the next one is the red ginseng. The process of red ginseng is washing, steaming. Here it is like 90 to 100 degrees centigrade, 2 to 3 hours. Here you can see 30 minutes, but here it is 2 to 3 hours. And then for a period of only one time, we are going to do that, because the black ginseng, we are going to do that process, steaming process 3 times. And then hot air drying at 50 degrees centigrade, then sun drying, and then comes our beautiful product, red ginseng, with all its medical properties. And then coming to the process of black ginseng, nowadays this black ginseng is very popular for its cosmetic value. And this is for the washing and steaming around 95 to 98 degrees centigrade for a period of 3 to 5 hours. And if this process of steaming is done 3 times, and then the hot air drying, and then again steaming, hot air drying, and again steaming, is a cycle of 3 times. And then we get the black ginseng, which is black in color too. So this is how we can see all the, I see somebody's, okay. Yeah. The fresh ginseng. This is the ginseng that is usually sold in the supermarkets as food and delicious and incredible versatile. We just don't overdo it because ginseng has a strong taste. Okay, coming to the white ginseng, it is fresh, sun-dried in sun without any previous heating. Dried ginseng can be stored for much longer than the fresh ginseng. And red ginseng, where we steamed and dried and then we got it. It improves the storage life of this process also improves the storage life of the ginseng too. And coming to the black ginseng, recently, as I told you, is the new variety, and it is steamed 9 times before drying, sometimes 3 times to get the black color, and it is having several times more of some ginsenosides than the white and the red ginseng. So we can see in the white ginseng, I will explain you the active principles also. Before that, let me mention you what are the sources and in which type of ginseng they are present. So the best source of the ginsenosides, RG1, RE, RB1, RC, RB2 are present in white ginseng. In red ginseng, the best source of ginsenosides, the RH1, RH2, 20S, RG2, RD, and in black ginseng, the best source of the ginsenosides, we find the compound K apart from the other ginsenosides. Okay, so coming to the 7 efficacy theory of our ginseng, what is it? As in the introduction, Lakshman sir told about it's boosting the stamina. This is all the traditional claims which are coming from the good olden days. And first one is the boosting the stamina, supporting. That means it's acting as a, what do you say? It fights against any disease, right? So the second one is the supporting metabolism and circulatory system. That means it works on heart and calming the nerves. That means it shows some neuroprotective or neurotherapeutic activity, supporting healthy lung functions. That means it is having an activity on respiratory system and supporting the spleen and stomach, detoxification, and improving the skin condition like anti-aging function. Nowadays, the trend is for the skin whitening too. One of the products, our Indian products, the Lotus company, is now introduced a new product with a ginseng in that. So I was so astonished to see our market also is using the Korean ginseng. So coming to the pharmacological benefits, as I told you, is the miracle root capable of curing the heart diseases, diabetes, fatigue, to even a complementary therapy. And it also boosts the immune system. We already discussed it, but let me have a glance at it. It improves the heart health, treat diabetes, increase energy, decrease stress, and treat impotence. So that is the aphrodisiac activity. And coming to the biological activities, including the anti-inflammatory activity, anti-diabetic activity, anti-tumor activity, neuroprotective activity, cardioprotective activity, and hepatoprotective active properties too. So in a threshold in this diagram, we can see that it supports the immune system, enhance the physical energy, supports the memory functions, and boldly, we can say it increases stamina and reduces fatigue. Okay. So what are the active? We were talking that there's a lot of medical properties, therapeutic properties. So what are, why we are having, or why we get all those activities is because of the active principles or the active components that are present in ginseng. So the modern science have revealed that the Korean ginseng contains a diverse variety of components not found in any other plant. One of these components, mainly the saponins, specifically called as the ginsenosides, are the most active healthy components of the Korean red ginseng. The ginsenosides are proved to have an adaptogenic quality in various species of life. So we can see here, like there are three groups of ginsenosides: the protopenoxadiol, PPD type, and the protopenoxatriol, the PPT type, and the oleanolic acid. So total around ginsenosides that have been discovered are like 8 types of PPT type and 22 ginsenosides, and PPT type 14 ginsenosides, and oleonic acid type are 2 ginsenosides. Okay, so I'll show it. These are the chemical structures. Why we call them as the ginsenosides, because they have the glycosidic bonds at the hydroxyl group C3 and C20 of the protopanoxidal structure. And the major PPT type ginsenosides are, I'll show it in the figure. And for the triols, they have the glycosidic bonds in the hydroxyl group C6 and C20. So I'll show it in the next slide how they are. So the PPT type, we can see the ginsenosides RA1, RA2, RA3, RB1, RB2. I just want to, you just look at the slide, that's enough, because it's no need to narrate everything, but there are a total of 22 types, and PPT type are 14 types. And as I told, the oleonic acid or the ginsenoside RO, I have 2 types. Okay, when we compare between the main ingredients like the American and the Korean ginseng, we can see how much they are expressed. This is the Korean type, like 21, American is 13, Chinese is 14, and the PPT type or ginsenosides are here. We can see in Korean is 15 type, 15 ginsenosides are present, 5 are present in the American, 15 are present in the Chinese. And coming to the oleonic acid type, they have around 2 in the Korean ginseng, 1 in American ginseng, and nothing in the Chinese ginseng. So total, we have a ginsenosides of around 38 in the Korean, 19 in the American ginseng, and 29 in the Chinese ginseng. Looking at the table itself, we can say that which one is more potent and which is more, which is having high therapeutic medicinal properties too. Okay. Yeah. So all these like the active ingredients like the RB1, which are, these are the benefits. You can see it in the table form here. The RC are used as a sedative, protein and lipid synthesis facilitation. RO, the alcohol detoxification. RE, the blood regulation. RF, the neuron protection. RG1, supporting the cognition, anti-fatigue, anti-stress, immune system, and inhibiting the platelet aggregation. And supporting the RG3 is the supporting memory functions, immune system, liver protection, and the RG1 is liver protection and immune system. So coming to, we have the saponin side and the non-saponins also. The non-saponins which are present in the ginseng are the polyacetylene, phenolic compounds, acidic polysaccharides, and insulin analogs. Okay. So these are the active ingredients that are present in the ginseng and their respective benefits. Okay. So I was talking to you about ginseng. It's having those many therapeutic activities. It's a miracle drug. It is a multifaceted. It's having like king of herbs like that. So what is this application of this ginseng in infertility? As we say that we have the traditional claims that it is aphrodisiac and it is having the senile function and it is used in testicular dysfunction. So we focused on the infertility aspect. So how we are going to use this ginseng? Are we going to use as a ginseng as a pill or directly a root or as a powder? We are going to see in the coming slides. So let's go in. Coming to the fertility, I was talking to you about, I'm going to focus on the fertility. So my title itself tells you that ginseng's role on fertility. So what is this fertility rate? So the decline in the birth rate is one of the gravest concerns in the industrialized countries. Now you can see in the Eastern countries like the Japan and in Korea also, we have like people between the ages of like 60 to 80 are many than the people who are between the 20 to 40 nowadays. Yes, so that's how the decline in birth rate is there. And also it's because of the several psychological, social, and economic issues which exist, and also the reproductive abnormalities, both in the partners, are some of the major problems that we are facing. Particularly, the male-related factors are estimated to account for the approximately 20% of the infertility of the couples. The most significant factors we are going to discuss in the following talk. So when you see in this figure itself shows you that while the years are progressing, you see the birth rate is declining. Even in my family too, my grandmom gave birth to a lovely siblings of 8, and my mom gave birth to 2, like my sister and myself, and I have 1 son. So in our families only, we see that there is a controlled birth rate. So in one family it is like that. We can see the country, and in the whole world, that is how the birth rate is just reducing tremendously. So when we look at the graph here, you can see here the birth rate, like 0 to 1, all the blue is the here, and 7 to 8 is the purple and the red ones. Only in these areas we see more birth rate. Now you can see here the graph is given like this, like 1 to 2 children in the yellow, in the blue, and in the yellow to green, 3 to 4, like that. Only in the African countries we see more kids, but the fertility rate is high. But in other rest of part of the world, we can see, as you can see here, you can see the graph, it's just decreasing, and you can see the changes in the color. Just observe that. So everything is becoming blue. That means it's less than 1. While we come to 2020, after 2020, like if we go, the life expectancy reduces, and also if years pass by, the birth rate is declining a lot. Okay. So what are the causes of this fertility? As I told you, the most of the 20% are the unexplained factors, and 40% are the male factors, and 40% are the female factors. Usually in very traditional countries like the Asian countries, we can talk about our own continent. Even we have always a tradition when a wedding occurs. Even in African countries too, they always, the elders look ahead for a baby, or a baby which is going to born. But you see, they always complain about the women. That is one bad part of it. But we don't know. It is found that about 35 to 40% of the issues among the couples are caused by infertile conditions in male, but not in women. So this is a real thing that everyone should focus on, because nowadays everybody says that if a couple is not bearing children, they just say that, oh, why don't you visit a doctor? And maybe it's a problem with her, maybe it's a problem from the family, and they always blame about the women in the family or the female person. But astonishingly, 35 to 40% of the issues among the couples are caused by the infertility among the males. So what are these related factors? Most significant of these factors are the low sperm count, low sperm motility, abnormal sperms, and erectile dysfunction, testicular failure, hypogonadism. Like, there are many aspects which contribute to the reproductive disorders which affect men, and more among with increasing age. So making sense of the male fertility, as I told, actually I skipped the slide, but you can see here, we always have the myth that the infertility is only in the women issue, myth that the age doesn't matter for the male fertility. Yes, they say that if a woman nowadays, the marriage, the time to get married is delayed. But when they say that, oh, because she got a wedding delayed, so she's not bearing a child. It's not that. Age doesn't matter. But it doesn't matter for male fertility, and wearing briefs makes men infertile, and the busting myths about the male infertility are many. So we should consider all these factors too. So I say that these are one of the major causes of the male infertility. So what are these issues which causes the male infertility? So what is the functional unit of the male reproductive system? That is the functional unit, I call it as the sperm, right? So which is present in the testes. So the causes of male infertility may be the oxidative stress, or like as I told you, subfertility, or like what do you say, poor sperm motility, low sperm concentration, abnormal sperm, like the manufacturing of the sperm is not proper, like that. So not only that, we have many chemical causes like the chemotherapy, like nowadays cancer is seen very common around the world, where people with there's no age limit also nowadays, so people are affected with cancer. So during chemotherapy, what will happen is these chemotherapeutic drugs will have an effect on the testis. Okay, so because of that chemotherapy after effects, the fertility disorders also happens. Like so I say that the chemical causes are the chemotherapy, drugs, smoking, alcohol, pesticides, environmental pollutants, and heavy metals. Like in movies also nowadays we are seeing, like discussing about this fertility issues. So the people who are working in silicon industries, asbestos companies, manufacturing companies, they have effect, this chemical effect on their fertility rate. So coming to the psychological causes, like the stress, stress is a big word which has many definitions. The psychological stress, erectile dysfunction, premature ejaculation, and ejaculatory incompetence. And next comes the hormonal cause, that is the hyperproduction, the androgen insensitivity, the hypothyroidism. And coming to the physical causes like heat, like the external conditions like heat, aging, obesity, disease, radiation, and immobilization. These I'm going to discuss in my coming slides. Okay, let me talk about the different types of stress which we come across. So stress which is like heat, because of heat, immobilization, drug therapy, and aging. So what are there in the toolbox? What do you say? Like every time we say, whenever we have a small pain, a headache, simple headache, we say just go for a Tylenol, or we say just go for a paracetamol, or simply we go for a Saridon and then just have a cup of coffee or just have a cup of tea and then say, oh, I'm fine. So what are in the toolbox? Always we go for a remedy, right? So what is there? Like in our toolbox, we have the phosphodiesterases, like the diesterase 5 inhibitors, like the Viagra, Cialis, Levitra, dopamine agonists, the prostaglandins, the alpha adrenergic receptor antagonists, and then the surgery and assistive reproductive technology, and also the in vitro fertilization. But these are the and then, so what about the this Western medicine as always has a good evidence and a bad evidence. So what is the good evidence? Like the quality of life. So when I take a paracetamol or a Tylenol, what do you say? Like we have an immediate relief, or the fast relieving, but later when after that, what do we say? We say that it's poisoning the liver, right? It's a prolonged process. So always we have a good evidence as well as the bad evidence. So coming to the good evidence, like the quality of life, lifesavers in the bedroom, especially early in the disease. And coming to the common adverse effects are like the facial flushing, headache, dyspepsia, nasal condition, photophobia. And the serious side adverse effects are the vision loss, sudden hearing loss, myocardial infarction, the prostatitis, and the diabetic neuropathy. So choose something else apart from this, because we have the bad evidences along with the good evidences too. So what do usually we choose? Always, what are we choosing? The organic stuff Organic vegetables, we say. Organic fruits, we say. Natural products, we say. Yes, that is what I say, that we are going to see about some natural products. So the natural help for the male factor infertility, that is what we are coming to see about. So what else is out there which is the natural in source? We have the Oriental medicine, we have the traditional Indian medicine, the Ayurveda, the traditional Chinese medicine, the herbal medicines, yoga, Tai Chi, acupuncture, diet, exercise, music, and art. So out of this, what are the claims of ginseng? As we already discussed earlier, I said that it is an immunobooster, it has anti-inflammatory activity, anti-liver for fibrosis, antioxidant, anti-tumor, anti-Alzheimer's, skin protection, hepatoprotective, anti-allergy, improves men vitality. Yes, here I just give a pause. Increasing man's vitality, that means it is aphrodisiac in nature. So that's why I just selected this ginseng for the male infertility disorders. Okay. Yeah, what is this male infertility? We were just talking in a wide range, but coming to the gross root, like how, what does it mean? That is the functional unit, the sperm. So how they are produce, that is the spermatogenesis pathway. Now you know the hypothalamus in the brain, it releases the gonadotropic releasing hormone, which initiates the anterior pituitary gland, which produces the luteinizing hormone and the follicle stimulating hormone, and these go in the blood and acts on the testes, which produces the Leydig cells and the Sertoli cells. These Leydig cells, they produce the testosterone and they binds with the androgens, and the Sertoli cells, they nurse the sperm cells. That means they are used for the nutrition, or like they nurture the sperms. And then we also have the inhibin, which will stop the production of the Sertoli and the Leydig cells hormone release, so that there will be it controls the entire spermatogenesis pathway. Now, if you can see I will show it in the next slide. So this is the testis, and this is the epididymis, and we have a cover-like thing here, and this in the testis, we see the seminiferous tubules. In this tubules, if you can see, this is the outer layer. These are the spermatogonia. These are the primary spermatocytes. These are the sperm heads and the sperm cytoplasm. These are the acrosomes, and this is the lumen. In this lumen, so this matured sperms will come from the outer surface of the sperm cell. Now, if you can see, this is actually the seminiferous tubule and how the testis is, and this is what we saw it. We just see it in the figures in our textbooks, but when we saw these spermatogonia, the Leydig cell, the Sertoli cells, and the spermatids, and the primary spermatocytes, and the spermatozoa. Okay, yeah, these are the cells. So this is the spermatogonia, the outer layer. These are the Leydig cells in between them, and this is the spermatogonia. This is the spermatid, and these are the spermatozoa. Okay, and these are the primary spermatocytes. Okay, so what is the mechanism what we investigated in the testicular cell? Now, these cells, if I have any dysfunction, it is because of the oxidative stress. So they are mainly because of the antioxidant enzymes pathway. We have the hormone pathway, and we have the mitochondrial apoptosis pathway. Now, what we saw is like how the ginseng is having the effect on the antioxidative stress in the hormonal pathway, where we have seen the spermatogenesis related factors and the genes and the proteins, and also the antioxidant enzymes pathway, where we can see the activity against the different antioxidant enzymes. Okay, so what we investigated We investigated the body and organ weights, the blood chemistry panels, including the sex hormone levels, liver and lipid profile, the sperm kinematic parameters, topological parameters like the motility, progressiveness, and elongation, expression levels for antioxidant enzymes like PRX, GSTMU5. You all know, because we are all in the pharma field, I don't need to explain everything, all these, right? So the expression levels of the spermatogenesis related biomarkers like the inhibin, nictin, and CREB, and then the sex hormone receptor expressions like the AR, FSHR, and the luteinizing hormones. So our first work we did for, as I told you in the beginning, chemotherapeutic activity. So how this is ameliorating when their testis is being disturbed or is having any dysfunction. So we took the most common chemotherapeutic drug, which is doxorubicin. I think you have heard about the doxorubicin drug. So this doxorubicin induced drug, we induce this drug to our experimental models, and we check the activity for the because I just want to go fast in this because I need to explain a little more about that. So I'll be a little bit fast in moving the slides. You just please follow them. So on the expression levels of the antioxidant related proteins like this. So here you can see this is the control group, and this is the doxorubicin treated group, and this is the extract group 1, like 100 mg we gave KRG, and the other group is the 200 mg. Then you can see there is a drastic increase and significantly increase in the antioxidant related proteins. The expression levels are increased. Okay, and you can see here, like we tested for the sex hormone pathway signaling molecules, like using the inhibin alpha, nictin-2, and CREB. We can see a significant ameliorating activity where this ginseng treated group has shown when we compare to the toxin group. And then and the other one is the sex hormone receptor, sex hormone, sex hormone receptor groups expression levels. You can just see in this how they are expressed, the AR, the FSHR, the LR. You can just see from the diagram, and you can see how much difference this our ginseng extract made when they are treated with doxorubicin exposed experimental models. And then as I told you, we have taken the testicular parameters associated with the spermatogenesis, like the weight of the testis, the epididymis weight, and the tubular size, tubules in the sperm, and the sperm number also. You'll be, I just want to tell you, after sacrificing our model, our experimental friends, I call them as friends because they really help me a lot in carrying my research activity. And so we collect the sperm fluid from the epididymis. We just cut open that. We remove the sperm fluid, and then we check for the viability. Like we can just see how they swim around, and we check the progression rate. All the sperm kinematic factors we check around them, and then the sex hormone levels, how they are. And this is very interesting. We just see, like sometimes we get a nice blot, and sometimes the invisibility is less, sometimes it will be more. But when we just check open the immunohistological part, when we just stain the testis and then see, wow, that's amazing. When you just see, look at the figure, you can see in the control, this is the sperm cell, like what do you say, the cross section of the testis. When you stain that and see it under a microscope, you will be astonished to see how the network or the bundle of sperms are present in that. You can see the lumen, densely thick lumen, the Leydig cell, the primary spermatocytes, spermatogonia, everything well properly placed and arranged. But when you see this toxin like the doxorubicin exposed testis, you can see the lumen is not dense and some of the cells are dyed, and then you can just see everything in a inappropriate manner. And then when we see our like the ginseng treated thing, you can just see from the figure itself how you can see it is nearly equal to the control and more than the control. Yeah, you can see the dense lumen, the perfectly arranged spermatozoa, spermatogonia, serotily cell, the spermatids, and the primary spermatocytes, and the Leydig cells. Yeah, that is how we were so happy to see the result during the histopathological studies. We also had the fingerprint analysis of the Korean ginseng, what we use to check the particular ginsenocytes. And astonishingly, we were the first to report that, and we were so proud to report that the Korean red ginseng extract has significant restorative effect against the doxorubicin-induced testicular toxicity in rats. Okay, so, and we published a paper in the Journal of Functional Foods, and we were so happy about the result. So that's how we examined the activity of ginseng on the chemotherapy. Okay, and next coming agenda for me is the aging. As I told, aging is inevitable, and so is the bodily thing. So the male reproductive aging is always depending upon the oxidative stress, the inflammatory and immune diseases, decreased hormones, genetics and genome stability, telomere shortening, nutrition and lifestyle, sexual function and activity. Yes, now I will show you how our beautiful ginseng extract could ameliorate or it, I don't know, yeah, and how the effect of the KRG on the testis for the lipid peroxidation activity. You can see here, these are the young control and these are the age rats, and this is our extract treated. You can see how nicely the result has come. So we were so happy to see how it is acting upon the lipid peroxidation. Next is coming to the non-enzymatic activity. Yeah, non-enzymic activity, antioxidant levels in testis for the aged rats, the amount expressed with ascorbic acid. You can see how nicely it's expressed. Okay, and then yeah. Next is the KRG on sex hormone levels. This is how we can see. And I can, what do you say? I can clearly demonstrate how it acts with this beautiful picture on the screen. You can see the young control rats. These are the aged rats. And this is the Korean red ginseng treated aged rats. You can see here, like, as I told you, that's why I first explained the anatomy of this. So you can see how densely they are. These are the young control, and these are the age where there's a scanty spermatogonia, spermatozoa, and here you can see how much recovery they are having when our group is treated, the age group is treated with the Korean red ginseng extract. Okay, so finally, we can say that the Korean red ginseng, a potent, valuable therapeutic agent for restoring aging-related testicular dysfunction, and then we published this in the Experimental Gerontology Journal. Next, then coming to the another factor which I was talking about is the stress. The word itself gives us a lot of stress. Even if we if we book a Uber, or if we book some food, order of food and Zomato or Uber Eats, if it's not coming, we just check the time, and then why is not coming? Why is he late? Like that. That itself gives us a lot of stress, where there is a lot of changes in our human body. So in our hormonal changes. So stress is like everywhere. The word itself gives us stress. So it may be a headache, family problems, duties, promotions, because of the employers, some marriage things. So everyone has stress, but it's healthy, and stress is healthy for a normal part of life. So stress is the body's principal method of reacting to a challenge. Yes or no? Do you agree? I think you do. So stress is the body's principal method of reacting to a challenge. And a new study of the University of California, it demonstrated that the mild stress can actually make male rats more social and cooperative than they are in an unstressed environment. I hope many men and boys are watching my talk. So yeah, I think you do agree. When you're stressed up, you just make a call, or you just go walk out of your office or walk out of your bench and then talk with your friends. So you say, let's fresh up ourselves and then come back. So that is what it is. So much as humans come together at non-life-threatening events such as the national tragedy, even now we are experiencing a lot of stress because of this COVID. We don't know. We are afraid to touch anything. We are afraid to shake our hands. We are afraid to touch even something is delivered to our house. Yeah, these are all like stressful things. But after a mild stress, in my experiments, the rats showed increased brain levels of sex hormones and its receptors, and huddled, and they touched each other. So that is how. So you need to, yeah, social distance is needed, but you can even encourage each and everyone in your family, your friends, to not to get depressed in this pandemic condition. So boost up yourself with energy drinks, with what do you say, the stamina boosters, and just make your life stress free. And then another one, yeah, we are all nowadays, like all students are watching the online classes, sitting in front of your notebooks, from your desktops. Yeah, this is causing the stress immobility syndrome. You can just see how we are getting stick to one place from morning till evening. Yeah, even I have consumed a lot of your time. Maybe you have to get up from your place, just walk around, wave your hands, rub your toes, and then move around, and then sit again. Just in Korea, for my son, they had an app, because these kids are not drinking water properly. So the teacher installed an app. For every 30 minutes, there is a ting, like noise, or some lovely noise of a water droplet. I was asking, what is that? My son, after that, my son comes and drinks water and go. I was observing and asked. Then he said, my teacher gave an app, well, soon after he hears that sound, he is supposed to go and drink water. In the same way, as we are all in what is a static condition nowadays, we are at home only, we are not going out, we are in front of our desktops. So just have relaxation, just move around, and then get back to your works. So here in stress, we took into account the stress because of the immobility syndrome, and the other one, stress because of heat. So coming to the Korean red ginseng against immobilization stress, the concept of stress has become a household topic nowadays. Sometimes even small kids say, oh mama, I'm stressed up, oh papa, I'm stressed up, like that. So stress is a profound disruptive factor to the reproductive function. Actually, the sexual function is a complex process involving brain, hormones, and emotions, etc. In non-human mammals, the restraint or the immobilization stress has effectively been used to study the subsequent physiological, behavioral, and the morphological changes. So this is our experimental setup where we induced stress because of immobilization to our rats. Excuse me. And then Yeah. So, and then we have checked the sperm kinematic values like the progression, the velocity, the elongation rate, the linear expression and everything. And then we can see a drastic change and increase in the sperm kinematic values after the groups are treated with the ginseng extract. So same is the case with our antioxidant enzymes. I'm not going deeply into the mechanism study because I just want to show you what are the preliminary results which we got. And then the Korean red ginseng effect on the mRNA expression levels of antioxidant enzymes. You can see the figure here and how nicely they are ameliorated and how nicely they are expressed, and the protein expression levels, so there's spermatogenesis related factors like the nectin-2 inhibitor. Just see from the graph and how they are just leveled up and the expression levels are increased. And then, yeah, this is the mRNA, the expression. This is the protein expression of the sex hormones. And you can see here the mRNA expression levels. And finally, with all the data, when we concluded that the KRG protected the immobilization, stress-induced testicular damage and fertility factor in rats, thereby indicating that its potential in the treatment of the stress-related male fertility, sterility by ameliorating and having the protective activity against the immobilization in stress-induced testicular damage. And this we published in the Journal of Ginseng Research. Next one, I'm going to talk about the another stress factor, that is heat. Yes. We talk about global warming. The evidence exists to suggest detrimental effects of the heat stress on the male infertility. Usually because you know about the homeostasis, right, of the body, and even the reproductive organs of male are outside the body to regulate the temperature, right? So in the same way, this undescendant testis, the cryptocratism, the environmental insults like the global warming, pollutants, plasticizers, genotoxins, the elevated temperatures due to modern lifestyle like laptops, clothing, sitting long hours in saunas, and the occupational exposures like the drivers, bakers, welders, foundry workers, wearing tight jeans, and all these are the factors which increase the testicular damage to the testis. Yeah, now you can see the testicular heat stress when there is a heat stress to the testis because of the environmental condition, the lifestyle, occupational, and the posture. Yes, for all the students, I tell you, like, the posture is very important. This makes a lot of difference in your future too. So you just rectify your postures, your lifestyles, and the occupational places also. Yeah. Can Korean red ginseng protect against this chronic intermittent heat stress and the testicular damage in experimental rats? So we wanted to build up the significant evidence of this offensive marketing strategy that Korean ginseng rises the body heat in the Asian countries. Now, I told you, there are a lot of many types of ginsengs available in the market, but Korean ginseng, it's a laborious process to get the output. Meanwhile, we have some other types of ginseng, and they, for the marketing strategies, they said that if we consume the Korean red ginseng, there is an elevation of the body temperature. And then it is having the heat stress. So to build this significant offensive marketing strategy, what we did is we got a grant from the Korean Society, the Ginseng Korean Society, and we made this research. So how it will see we can see. So I'm just explaining this briefly because all the parameters which I'm going to explain are done for everything, like the body weight measurements, the sperm kinematics, the sperm values, the antioxidant expressions, the spermatogenesis related biomarkers, hormone receptors, and the expression of the inflammatory cytokines. So these are the groups of animals we took, and for a period of 24 weeks we induced stress, and then we checked the body weight increment and the effect of the increment. We can see here there's no effect on the body weight, and then we can see there is an organ weight difference. When the heat induced group, the weight of the kidney is reduced and the epididymis is also reduced. And when this Korean ginseng was treated, they almost came to the normal. Okay, even the epididymis almost came to the normal condition. And coming to the sperm kinematic values, we check for the motility, we check for the progressive rate, we check for the average velocity, like the average path velocity, we calculate that. We check the straight line velocity, we check the curvilinear velocity, like it's going straight, or the curvilinear velocity, and the linearity and the straightness and the elongation. So when we see that in the motility rate and the progressive rate, we can see a drastic change of like ameliorating this heat-induced groups, okay? And then coming to the serum biological parameters, we check the glucose level, we check the low density lipoprotein, and then the total cholesterol and the triglycerides. Yeah, we can see the difference here. And then, yeah, as I always tell you, it will be very fascinating to check the immunohistological data. I love to check this data because by our eye, with our naked eye, we can see how it really acts. These numbers sometimes, because of experimental errors, or sometimes we get like up and down, like sometimes, but this clearly shows how our lovely Korean ginseng extract could ameliorate, or it can protect the testis. So this is the normal control. This is the heat induced rat testis section, and this is our 100 mg extract given one. And this is the 200. You can see 200 gives more effect than the 100 mg extract. Okay, so this how you can see the heat stress is being subsided because of the treatment of the Korean red ginseng. So we have this Johnson scoring system where we see all the factors. We have around 10 scores, and then we give the mean score. This is all like we do it in the laboratory. And yeah, we check the Johnson scoring system, and then we check the proteins and the mRNA expression levels of the antioxidant enzymes. And you can see how nicely they are expressed. And then, yeah. Okay, so, and then the sex hormone receptors and the mRNA expression level markers for the inflammatory responses also we have checked for the heat exposed rat testis, like the IL-6, IL-1 beta, and TNF alpha, and the COX-2. And then with these findings, we see that there is improved sperm kinematic parameters, restored the mRNA and protein expression of the key antioxidant enzymes, ameliorated the spermatogenesis-related molecular expression, they altered the sex hormone receptor levels, improved the inflammatory cytokinase responses in intermittently heat-exposed rat testis. So finally, we could publish our data in the Korean, the Journal of Ginseng Research, and we could see that it is the multifunctional approach for the excellent therapeutic activity for the hyperthermia mediated male infertility. Okay, we were talking about all the experimental models, and coming to the, I just want to focus on a little bit of the pharmacognostic part also. Like as I told you, the ginsenosides, which are the saponins, which we call them as ginsenosides in ginseng, they are having the crude saponin, and we also have the non-saponin. So there are two major factors. The crude saponin fraction has been regarded as the main active principle with many ingredients, and the non-saponin fraction is contained as the biological important constituents and cannot be ignored. So this is what we wanted to check. So let's go further and check how it has shown the results. Yeah, these are the body weight increments and then the fractions of the blood chemistry panel. Yeah, I just don't want to explain each and everything. If you just check to the slide, you can understand. And then this group is like KRG water extract. This is the crude saponin. CS is the crude saponin, and the other one is the non-saponin. And we can see the serum sex hormone levels, how they are ameliorated. And coming to our interesting part, this is the immunohistochemistry. We can see this is the young control. This is the age control. And this is the Korean red ginseng water extract. This is a whole extract together. And this is the crude saponin extract and the non-saponin extract. Now you can see it's not that much difference. That is what I wanted to let you know about this. And we were first to observe that these observations also in the seminiferous tubules of the rat testis. So we checked the testis parameters related to the spermatogenesis and the Johnson score system, and then the protein expression levels for the antioxidant enzymes, and the sex hormones AR, LHR, FSHR, and then the mRNA expression levels and the key molecules involved in the spermatogenesis, like the nectin-2 and inhibin alpha. And then here we can show the summary of everything, showing the significant effect shown by KRGW, like the water extract, all the whole, and the crude extract, and the the crude saponin extract and the non-saponin extract also, part also. Now we checked everything. Yeah, you can just check around. And then we also took the fingerprint analysis of both the extracts, and we could see what are present. And finally, we could get into a conclusion that the distinctive effects of the KRG water extract and its fractions, both the crude saponin and the non-saponin, are observed. Yeah, we observed right together in that slide of the immunohistodata. In several occasions, they have stronger effects than the fractions. The amount of saponin is not the only functional parameter of the KRG, and the non-saponin fraction also exhibited significant effects. The KRG fractions may synergistically regulate the key transcription factors and restore the signal transductions involved in the spermatogenesis seen in aging. Yeah, when you can look into this, we observed the attenuating both the saponins and the non-saponin matter. So they are in a harmonized manner. Along with the crude saponin, they both need a scientific attention. Yeah, this is what I would like to, we also published the same in the Journal of Functional Foods in 2017. Yeah, this is like the long data. The crude saponin and the non-saponin fractions also exhibit distinct effects in ameliorating or like the aging-induced testicular dysfunction in rats, and the potential non-saponin active components in combination with the CS fraction it might be responsible for such a synergetic effect. So that's why in our traditional medication, we say that kashayam, lepas, and everything is like the pure concentrated extract or anything, which gives the strong effect or the strong protective, it may be protective or it may be therapeutic effect too. So that's why together also is having a very beneficial and potential effect against the aging-induced testicular dysfunction. Yeah. So coming to the another interesting part of ginseng, so we treated this ginseng with pectinase. What is pectinase? That is present in our stomach. When we take something into the body, they change in the stomach, right? So this pectinase treated Panax ginseng protects against the intermittent heat stress testicular damage in rats, modulating the spermatogenesis related to the molecular expression. Yeah, I was just about to tell you. Yeah. Where's that? Yeah. So in this figure, you can, where's that? Yeah. In this figure, you can see that the red ginseng is biotransformed into the, why is it stuck? Yeah. How they are forming, like how they are transformed into the ginsenosides. You see here, this pectinase treated ginseng is regarded as the one of the active, the ginsenosides are regarded as the active compounds responsible for the various, what do you say, pharmacological effects, right? So what will happen when we treat this pectinase outside only? We feel like we are giving the, what do you say, like cut short, we will cut short the time of action. So this is how we did, and we treated the pectinase treated Panax ginseng. So this is how, why pectinase is biotransformed means, you can see in this figure, this is the ginseng, this is red ginseng, this is how the biotransformation takes place and the fermentation of the red ginseng. So ginsenosides are enzymatically biotransformed in the human intestine, forming the potent byproducts. So this pectinase, commonly produced by the lactic acid bacteria in the intestine, this will change the pectin into the, we say it as the genist treated, or we call it as the pectinase treated Panax ginseng. And this produces large amounts of compound K by transforming the ginsenosides such as the RB1, RB2, and RC. So here we already did publications and like pectinase treated Panax ginseng ameliorating the hydrogen peroxide induced oxidative stress in GC2 sperm cells and modulates the testicular gene expression in aged rats. We did for the dysfunction of the aged rats via redox modulating proteins, and also we saw the effect of this fermented Panax ginseng on oxidative stress and antioxidant activities in major organs of aged rats. And also we saw the genist, we call it as the pectinase treated genix, ameliorates the hyperglycemia and the hyperlipidemia in the high fat diet fed mice, and also the anti-diabetic effect also we have seen. So usually what do you say when we take some Ayurvedic products or some natural products or some oriental medicines or some oriental herbs as a decoction or like extract, they say that they are elevates the body temperature. So in the same way, the myth about the Korean red ginseng raises the body heat, and it we just wanted to check with that. So the Korean ginseng facilitates the blood circulation, thereby increasing the skin temperature, but the body core temperature doesn't change. Okay, so this feverish feeling is generated by the activation of the metabolism due to the ginseng. So in fact, the Korean red ginseng elevated the physical disorders induced by the high temperature. The ginseng counteracts the increase in the body temperature increased by the endogenous pyrogens, indicating the buffering effect of ginseng on the body temperature. And you know, in Korea, like in summer, they have a special dish. I will show it in a slide and explain it to you again. So they eat ginseng in summer to overcome the heat. Okay, yeah. And then, so seeing all these myths, and as I told you, like the marketing strategy, to combat with that marketing strategy, we investigate the protective effects of the pectinase treated biotransfer Panax ginseng against the intermediately heat stress induced testicular damage in rats, and to build the scientific evidence for the offensive marketing strategy. The same parameters are being taken. And yeah, I'll just skip all these things because you have already acquainted with all the parameters, what we study and do, the antioxidants, the protein expressions, the spermatogenesis related parameters. Just see the results, how nicely they have ameliorated, and how nicely the expression levels are increased, and the upregulation of the enzymes as well as the hormones are taking place. And this is how, like, it improved the sperm kinematic parameters, restored the mRNA and protein expression of the key antioxidant enzymes. This ameliorated the spermatogenesis related molecular expression, regulated the altered sex hormone receptor levels. So this we published again in Journal of Ginseng Research, we categorized as an important medicinal herb and a potential therapeutic for the treatment of the male subfertility or infertility caused by the hyperthermia. So I just want you to share with this. This is an excellent work. Like you can see, this is a cartoon. These are the health effects of stress, but I'm still not giving you an extra vacation, he say. Now, yeah, I just I just wanted to say everyone, like, when the atmospheric condition or the working conditions or the because many of us are listening to my talk are students, when the college or the campus atmosphere and the relationship between your instructor or your faculty and you are having a nice environment, then automatically you will have a stress-free life. Because the stress, we just discussed only a very minute part where we can see a lot of effects, right? So I always wish everyone to be like have a stress-free atmosphere in their working condition. Not only in your work, some people are good in the office, but some people are not good at home. They are so irritated when the kids make noise, when your mom's, like you students, when your mom or your dad doesn't give your pocket money properly, or they don't allow you to have a gathering, or they don't allow you to go for an outing. Yeah, these are all like building up stress within yourself. So just stay cool, stay calm, and then make yourself stress free. So these are the, coming back to my work, these are the preceding reports which we are continuously publishing in our laboratory. So we published in different journals. Yeah, and coming to the Korean red commercial products, because I was talking not about ginseng, particularly focusing on the Korean red ginseng. So these are the products which are available for kids. For you can see there are ginseng, red ginseng latte, some kid juices, some extracts for adults, some cosmetics, and even you can see some makeup stuff also, and ginseng candies. Yeah, there are quite a lot, many stuff which are available, but they are too costly too. Yeah, why they are costly also you came to know, right? So you don't mind spending more money for a nice product or a nice natural product which is really healthy for your living. So our research, as I told you, it also provides the scientific evidence to support the Korea's traditional way of consuming ginseng in order to overcome this. Before that, I would like to tell you, so in this part, you can see this is a chicken stew, whole chicken stew with a ginseng root on it. We have some dates, we have some garlic, and it's just a water stew with all the oriental herb, the ginseng. In summer, we say that these oriental medicines elevates the body temperature, but only in summer. The government even specified 2 days where they serve only this ginseng chicken soup in the restaurants in Korea, and it is very famously called as samgyetang. Yeah, I hear nowadays many of you are following South Korean students are following that BTS, K-pop, South Korean dramas, and yeah, you all know about South Korea nowadays because of the Kia Motors and because of the LG polymer leakage. And on the top, nowadays South Korea is very much famous for its testing kits for COVID, right? Yeah. Anyway, yeah, this is the one best Korean food where people will always take with the ginseng, called as the samgyetang. So in my summary of all these works which we worked in our laboratory, we say that we are the first to report that the Korean red ginseng extract has significant restorative effects against the doxorubicin-induced testicular toxicity in rats. It's a potent, valuable therapeutic agent for restoring aging-related testicular dysfunction. It is protecting the immobilization, stress-induced testicular damage, and fertility factors in rats, thereby indicating its potential in treatment of stress-related sterility. And then the Korean red ginseng attenuated the stress-induced testicular damage by a multifunctional approach and can be developed as an excellent therapeutic agent for the hyperthermia-mediated male infertility. And the crude saponin and the non-saponin fractions also exhibited a synergetic effect. So together, they show a lot more of effect in improving the aging-induced testicular function in rats. And genists like the pectinase-treated Panax ginseng may be categorized as an important medicinal herb and a potential therapeutic for the treatment of male subfertility and infertility caused by hyperthermia. Yeah, I think now you all will accept that ginseng is truly a miracle nutrient powerhouse in rescuing the male infertility. Yeah, this is our team. We have like inflow and outflow of the undergraduate students and the graduate student also. In between, you see the cheering person with a gray hair. He is my boss. Like I work with him together, and then other students. And he is fortunately he is the president of Korean Ginseng Society, and I'm so happy to work with him. And our team got many awards, like for the best research activity in the category of male testicular dysfunction. So yeah, so I'm happy to be in this part of our team. And lastly, we thank our experimental rats for their cooperation throughout the study without giving much stress to our team. So they were so kind, so cute, and they gave us a lot of data and gave us a good number of publications. So I thank my experimental rats also. Yes, finally, I can say that you can't buy happiness anywhere, but you can buy some ginseng. And that's a kind of same thing. And you cannot buy happiness outside, but just be stress-free, having nice and keeping your atmosphere like serene, not serene, but stress-free, and then make yourself happy. So thank you for your patient listening, and I hope you would agree about my statement, like ginseng is truly a miracle nutrient powerhouse in rescuing the male infertility. Thank you.
Ma'am, there is a few queries on YouTube Live.
Mm-hmm.
Do you hear me, ma'am?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. How we can determine the best variety of ginseng? How we can determine the best variety of ginseng?
Yeah, it's like depending upon the we have to take the if you want for the experimentation purpose, you have to go for the HPLC fingerprinting, and then you can see the how many number of best ginsenocytes that are present. Then you can decide if it is for an experimental model, and if it is for a commercial product, you can see in the labeling how much amount of the ginsenocyte and particular ginsenocyte is present in that.
Yeah, ma'am, one more question. Only on the Korean red ginseng is against testicular damage, whether you have done only on the Korean red ginseng, whether or else whether you compared any other varieties too.
No, we just focused only on the Korean red ginseng only.
Okay, that's fine, ma'am. It's a very, very nice session, ma'am.
Yeah,
Thank you, ma'am, for your very informative talk on very systemized pharmacognostical profile of ginseng. Start from importance of ginseng from the ancient times, through cultivation, collection, varieties, pharmacological actions, and chemical profiling especially. It's a very, very informative session on birth control issues too, especially a very keen study on testicular damage. And it's a very, very important note on biotransformation of ginseng. It's very, very nice, ma'am.
Thank you.
It's a very, very nice session, ma'am. I'll just hand over to our convener, today's convener. Hand over to the convener.
Thank you, Dr. Spandana Rajendra Kopalli, for your awesome talk. Really, your talk is very excellent in the area of pharmacognosy, especially on the ginseng, the miracle nutrient powerhouse, its role in fertility. Really, I admired with the two important aspects. One is regarding the stress, and second one is regarding the fertility. These are two important concepts which you covered in very, very excellent manner, and which is very much beneficial for our day-to-day life also. Thank you, Spandana, for your excellent presentation for the benefit of the staff as well as a student community. I hope all the faculty and student participants have gained the excellent knowledge for the today's topic. On behalf of VV Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences and JNTUK Kakinada, I would like to take this opportunity to express my gratitude to the today's speaker, Dr. Spandana Rajendra, for her excellent plenary lecture. And I especially thank all the participants for their active participation. And let me thank my colleague, Dr. P. Ravisha, Head Department of Pharmacognosy and coordinator for today's webinar series, for her excellent coordination. And dear participants, we value your presence with us and look forward to your continued support tomorrow also. And tomorrow, day 4 session starts at 1:30 p.m. The subject area of tomorrow's session is pharmaceutical biotechnology. The speaker for the tomorrow's session is Dr. Hari Saripalli, research scientist and manager, Agri Testing Laboratories, a division of King Honey Limited, New Zealand. And he delivers a lecture in biotechnology in drug discovery and clinical applications. Thank you, one and all. Have a nice day. Over to Dr. P. Ravisha for your closing remarks regarding the feedback and the sessions. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, Ravina ma'am, Dr. Ravina. Thank you so much, sir, for giving me this platform to exchange my research activity. And I am really so happy because of you. Actually, like you are my professor when I was studying my 4th year in B Pharmacy. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am.
We are very
Yeah.
proud, Spandana.
Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you.
And there is a thank you, ma'am. Thank you especially for accepting our invitation, ma'am. Thanks. It's a very, very, very informative session, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yeah. And there is a small note for the participants. So kindly please ensure that regarding the details about your name, institution, and your designation must be very clear without any error in issuing a clear-cut certificate. So that is the one thing. And you people also can find the feedback link in YouTube Live, description box especially. Yeah, thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.